Hello, and welcome to the Pricing for the Planet podcast, the podcast that explores the intersection of business and sustainability, highlighting profitable and sustainable business models. I'm your host, Fabian Cross, and I'm here to figure out with you how to make sustainability a competitive edge. Indeed, we believe that going green is not just about responsibility. It's about profitability too. Whether you're a business leader, an entrepreneur, or simply curious about how sustainability can be monetized, our podcast is here for you. Today, I'm super happy to host Andrea Pirisi, CTO of 20 Energy and inventor of Lybra. Andrea, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you to you, Fabian, for your invitation.
So we have a tradition on the podcast. We always start with the end. So first question, Andrea, if listeners could take away just one key message from this podcast, what would you want it to be?
Well, Fabian, every vehicle on the road has the potential to contribute to a cleaner, sustainable future. It's about rethinking energy from waste to wealth.
I like this concept a lot, and I think that and I'm so excited to deep dive on this one because I'm fascinated by your unique approach with 20 Energy, where based on my understanding you generate electricity from kinetic energy when car brakes during like a mandatory slowdown. So maybe can you deep dive into this while introducing us to your startup?
Sure. 20 Energy is developing and producing and commercializing its unique and breakthrough product, Lybra. Lybra is a device, a flat device installed ground flush, which means that it is at the same level of asphalt. And when vehicles goes over, the mass and the velocity of the vehicle compresses the surface. The surface change its shape. So these are shape changing, slowing down the car. So the car is losing speed and consecutively is losing kinetic energy. At the same time, the deformation of the surface activates special generators that are very similar to common dynamos. Those dynamos convert the kinetic energy absorbed by the surface from the car, and they convert this energy into electricity that is then stabilized by our patent pending electronic power electronics. And from then, we can connect the system to any kind of photovoltaic inverter in order to contribute to decarbonize the planet, self-consumption, so independency, local production, resiliency, secure energy, all the keywords that we love in this period of our era.
That's brilliant. But so how did you discover that? I guess it's pretty new, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely brand new. I was working with my PhD team in Politecnico di Milano University in Italy. We were working towards sensor buoys, which means that the team was working to a kind of device capable of measuring vital parameters of coral barrier reef in Australia in order to monitor them to take under control all the environmental changes relating to the coral barrier reef. And I was the only electrical engineer in the group, and they asked me a way to contribute to sustain, to feed the electronic device. And I thought, me and another my colleague team, we too thought about using the waves as a mechanical energy source. And from then we designed a special power buoy, a buoy that is capable of producing energy by the sliding up and down generated by the waves. And that was the very first beginning because We realized the prototype. We performed some tests in real environment at sea, and after that, during the winter, we started to work to looking actively looking for some investment from venture capital. And once we were in February at the table of an important venture capital in Paris, and he was very enthusiastic about the team, about the technology, but he was worried about the environment because he said, sea is very aggressive. It's difficult to scale because you need to have a lot of authorization from public administrations, especially from the central government. That is very tough, and and at that time I said, okay, what if we maintain the same team, the same technology, but we change the environment? We are not slowing up and down our generator at sea, but we can realize a dig in the road, and let do all the work by the car. And he was very surprised about our resiliency and dynamism. And from that point on, he helped us to fit our business model and try to, and it connected us to a lot of people that helped us to better focus also the design of the system. And after a few years of study and testing in prototypes, we started to put it down at the entrance of a shopping mall owned by managed by Ocean Group, and that was our very first prototype. And since then, we evolved the system in order to being able to install it in the highway environment. And we 2 days ago we ran the first ever system in a motorway environment, and it is actually capable of slowing down a car and the truck also, and producing electricity. And with, what is the best part of that is that even if you have a full electric car, you're using brakes. Well, the system is operating properly between 15 and 50 kilometers per hour. And I read a lot of studies from prestigious universities that say that even Tesla, that is probably the best performing electrical vehicle, even in that case, in the velocity range, the speed range which Libra is operating, uh, the electrical vehicle is using common brakes to slow down the car. So even in that case, a full electric vehicle, the car is dissipating energy, is discharging its velocity speed into the environment. It is not converting back into electricity. So that means that Libra is performing at its best where the other technologies are failing in energy recovery. So we are helping people to slow down, and we also realize a study that say that it is economical and convenient for the drivers passing through Libra because they are saving money on brakes and their associated discs. So there is a economical an advantage for the drivers slowing passing through Libra, and Libra is converting something that is discharged every day in every roundabout and every pedestrian crossing before every pedestrian crossing into electricity, and it is a huge, very huge energy source. Consider that. In an average road, we can count more than 7,000 vehicles per day, which means that in a common common crossroad, you can tap on more than 500,000 of kilowatt hours per year.
Wow.
Yeah, that is the energy source potential of this kind of application.
Perfect. And a good transition because one big question we have, it's like, so what's your business model? Like, who are your clients? How do you charge them? Are you charging the end user? Are you charging the road companies?
Yeah, we sell Libra. Our business model is composed by three steps that are planned during our evolution as a company. But the first, our core business is selling Libra business to business to major companies or corporates typically. And they are using it for self-consuming the energy, so independency or reducing their dependency from the net, or in other cases are using it for decarbonizing buildings, decarbonizing their own activities. We are participating in a project that is the first installation we performed 2 days ago in highways. Well, in that case, Libra is directly connected to the POD, the point of delivery
Yeah.
of a service station, a resting area, along the A1, that is a E35, I guess. That is the most important highways because in Italy, because it goes from Milan to Florence, Rome, and Naples. And between just after Florence, between Florence and Rome, there is a resting area and service station. At the main entrance, there is our Libra installed. And the Libra is connected to the point of delivery. And from then, it is feeding the electrical vehicles charging points. So in that case, Libra is recovering the energy dissipated into the environment, otherwise dissipated into the environment by any kind of vehicle, including EVs, and it is converted in a useful energy that is used to charge the electrical vehicles. That is, I guess, from the energetical and environmental point of view, the best kind of application.
Nice. So it's like a closed loop. But is it enough to completely feed the charging station, or is it just like a share use for the charging station, but it's not enough to completely, feed 100% of the need of the charging station?
This is a good point because our client started installing photovoltaic panels since early 2000s, maybe late 90s. So at this time, all the available surfaces, including parking lots, are covered by photovoltaic panels. But they aims to use only renewable energy for charging electrical vehicles. So photovoltaic panels are not enough. And they asked us to help them on their target. So Libra is not the only technology. It is installed after the first installation of photovoltaic plant, and it is working in parallel. So at its own step. And this is important because it underlines the capability of this system of being a superstructure, something that could be installed over an existing system in order to amplify its capability of producing green energy. So Libra is not the only technology that is assisting the electrical charging points. It is something that is it has the photovoltaic panels beside. I do not know how much, but at the last count, Libra is capable of producing the half of the energy produced by the existing photovoltaic panels. And just to give you a measure, Libra is 3 meters large, 3 meters and a
Oh,
half
wow.
large, and 3 meters long. So it is close to 10 square meters of a surface. It is completely flat at the same level as asphalt, and it is capable of producing the same quantity of energy of 300 square meters of photovoltaic plant. 300.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So that's
It
significant.
is a small, yeah, it is a small condominium because it can feed forever 12 homes composed by three, four people each.
Wow. Okay.
This just from 10 square meters. And you know why? Because the kinetic energy is much more denser than the solar one. And Libra is working during the winter, the summer, during the daylight, during in the dead of the night, under the snow, under the storm. It is not. It cannot be damaged by, for example, ice or storm because it is every day it is hit thousands of times
Yeah.
by truck, 50 tons that is crossing through at 30, 40 kilometers per hour. So it is very resistant from that point of view.
I love that. That's super interesting. And so, and maybe one big question. So how do you envision like the evolution of your monetization strategy? Because you talked about, going to B2B. Are you going to B2G to governments now? Are you trying actually to get funding from the general public? Did you kind of like explore those opportunities?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned before that our business model is designed in three steps. The first is business to business, just a sale only. The second step is renting. We are aiming to enter to propose an energy as a service model. We are already working on it. We have something that we can propose to our clients that is close to an operational rental. But our aim is to propose energy as a service. So we would like to let people pay as you go for the energy they use from Libra. For example, for charging their electrical vehicles. And we think that is the perfect target for us. So, but especially because everyone wants to feed electrical vehicles from renewable energies. And in the cities, especially in Italian cities, the main problem is in the infrastructure. You could not drag a cable of half a megawatt up to
Yeah.
the historical city center to a parking lot. But you can easily install Libra at the nearest crossroad or roundabout, and you can connect to because Libra can be connected up to 500 meters to the point of delivery. So you can
Okay.
install Libra in the nearby up to half a kilometer, and in order to feed the electrical charging points inside the parking lot. And in that case, we would like to propose Libra in an energy as a service model.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, let me know when you do, because I think in Paris we have a lot of needs.
Okay, I would love it. I would
No,
love it.
super interesting. It's really fascinating. So maybe a broader question, because like you are, between like sustainability, energy as a service, and all this move. Do you foresee like emerging business strategy stemming from this wave of sustainability focused startups?
Yeah, absolutely. Sustainability, my point of view, has shifted from a good to have to a business imperative for many companies. And this is regarding the biggest one as well as the smallest one. Uh, we would like to think that we anticipate a surge in cross collaborations where technology, energy, transportation converge to create an on-field sustainable solution. And I think it's an exciting time where innovation is driven by the urgent need for sustainable charge.
Yeah, that's I completely agree with the vision. I think that's important that we achieve that. And maybe one question more from your like engineering background. Do you see other type of technologies that could really, help achieve this vision?
Well, yes. I am just since I am involved, I could be not so independent in my
Yeah, you
opinion.
have a bias for
I
sure.
get well. When you think about, I think that the energy transition is the chain of the energy transition is composed by few parts. There is the production, and everyone think about solar and wind, and we would like that it could be considered also kinetic energy in the near future as a third way. And then there is the transportation elaboration and the optimization of the consumption. IoT things can help to manage the whole chain from the production to the final consumption. And I think that IoT, assisted by artificial intelligence, could be the next big thing because it could integrate all the system. It is like in the electronic at the very first beginning, everyone realized a very small piece of the chain, and right now everyone talk about the integrated system because everything is end to end. And I think that in clean energy production and sustainability, the way is pointing in that direction. So by using the IoTs and the artificial intelligence, we will be able to integrate the production and the final consumption in one big thing.
Super cool. And maybe so one like final question, because I think that's quite impressive what you achieved so far. Like, what guidance would you offer to those eager to become part of the sustainability initiative?
Well, I think that the first question should always be why. I have an I imagine a guy that say I have an idea for doing this, or on the other side, I would like to have having an idea on this topic. The first question is always why. Understand why sustainability matters to you. Then starting educate yourself, not just about problems, but about potential solutions. uh, Join communities, network, and don't be afraid to think outside the box. I am the perfect example about that. I started to do research in university as a PhD student, and someone asking me to support an electronic system, and it is the first step. So join communities because communities can stimulate your imagination, and don't be afraid to think outside the box or to think how to scale it, because the first thing I thought after the first prototype that was told like that was, okay, this is designed to feed an electronic device, but can we scale this device in order to feed a city? And then we can begin to with an observation of roads, and now we are aiming to change the energy landscape. So the first question is always why, and the second step is talk with people. A lot of guys, a lot of in entrepreneur and innovator that I talked to were afraid to share their idea because they were afraid that that idea could be stolen.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
I
not
know it's
true. This
funny.
is the, this is, I think, the biggest fault that an innovator or an entrepreneur could do. A lot of people wrote me emails saying, I have had the same idea that you had, producing energy from traffic, but I didn't be able to go at the end of the process. I talk with a lot of people. Lybra is completely covered with vulcanized rubber. This idea is not completely it is not completely from me. I was talking with a guy at the bar during a business plan contest, and he asked me some detail about our system. And I said, and he asked me, how are you thinking to close the system in order to not let the water enter, to let it being secure from the road point of view, so having the proper grip with the wheels. And I say that something that could be, I think, using metal grates on the system and some piece of rubber to seal it. And he said, why do not use vulcanized rubber? It's perfect for you. And in this kind of sharing, it was a brainstorming at in that point. I have had a flash, and I thought, okay, I can print a sheet, a huge sheet of vulcanized rubber, and I can use it to seal the system. And that was the way we used for sealing the Libra.
Wow.
So if I didn't have that conversation, it was a, an honest change peer to peer. Probably I would have spent a lot of time thinking how to solve that problem. And I could cite dozens of examples like that.
Perfect. That's a good story. Cool. Well, Andrea, thank you so much. It was really, really inspiring. And
Thanks to you for the invitation again.
yeah, well, anytime, anytime. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. If you want to stay connected with us, learn more, and continue this sustainability journey and discussions, please subscribe to our bi-weekly digest on www.pricingfortheplanet.com and follow us on LinkedIn. You can also follow 20 Energy on www.20energy.it. And listeners, we also need your help by leaving a comment and rating this podcast. I hope 5 stars. You are not just giving us feedback, you are also helping boost the visibility of these critical discussions. Every comment, every like, every share help us reach more people and spread the word about our mission. Let's use the power of our collective voice to change the world for the better. Thank you for your time, your interest, and your commitment to sustainability. Be well.